how it all started. So it was a bit weird. I first saw this beat online because I was looking for free for profit beats on YouTube. And I saw this producer, he was a small-time producer, J.O.T.A. And I listened to the beat. I wasn't expecting anything because obviously my first thought when I see small-time producers are like, yeah, no, the drums aren't gonna be any good. But I listened to the beat and the beat was like different. It was sick. So I was like, I definitely want to write something to this. So I think it was a Thursday night, yeah. It was like 12 in the morning on Thursday, and I had to go sleep. I had to go to sleep to prepare for college, but I was struggling to sleep because like an hour before I was trying to think of something to write and I couldn't think of anything. And literally as I was about to sleep, something came to me. It was like, labor. I've never been made for labor. And I was like, yo, that's mad. Should I just talk about politics or something like that? Hence the name of the song, Politics. But how it all got put together was kind of me writing from I've never been made for labor, and then I knew I wanted to talk about Green Party as well, and talk about conservatives as well, because that's all political groups. But yeah, it was just hard to fit everything in, so I had to rearrange it. But yeah, so I started writing that on the Thursday going to college in the morning on the bus journey. And after I finished writing that, it was like we were still doing a different course, a different unit. And the next week, by that time, I already finished writing everything and I started recording it in like this home studio that I had, trying to do everything independent kind of thing, with Adobe Audition as like my door. But it wasn't really working out. I sent like previews to a couple of friends and everything as well, and they were like, yo, it's sounding good. But no matter what I did, it just didn't sound right in my ears. So I was like, I'll probably try and take this to the studio and record this or something like that. So next week came, it was Monday morning, and we got pitched an idea in college for Unit 17, which is what we're doing right now. But it was like you had full creative freedom over what you wanted to do, and it could have been like a film or documentary, it could have been anything you wanted as long as it had visual and audio elements. So immediately after getting pitched that, I was like, imagine if I could make like a little series of what actually goes into making a song and how a song was made. So that's how this whole idea got generated. And I hit two of the people that I'm working with currently, Regan and George. They hit me up and asked if I wanted to work with them, and I pitched them my idea, asking if they were still willing to work with me, and they said yeah. So we started building that up. And at this time, I had a friend who was a producer called Mozan, and another friend who's an artist called Krishan. So I was like, I'll just hit them up for advice and also help to record the song in a studio and make it into an actual thing. And that was the original plan that we had. We were gonna go to private studios to record there. But everything kind of changed because I got introduced to this guy called Sam, who has been doing music production for a while now. So he invited me over to the studio and we kind of started recording from there, recording the lyrics to the song, playing that out loud. And then we also did the editing. So he was there editing the vocals for me with the EQing and adding effects.
Don't fall, track on me and I'll press it, no. I'm Pop Smoke but I want Dior. Louis Gucci, I'll have them all. Then buy a house and get some more. I can't say too much, might start a war. If you chase those girls, you get back sword. This guy loves her, bitch loves them more. Don't trip, don't fall, track on me and I'll press it, no. I'm Pop Smoke but I want Dior. Louis Gucci, I'll have them all. Then buy a house and get some more. I can't say too much, might start a war. If you chase those girls, you get back sword. This guy loves her, she loves them more. Aye. That's money, etc. I don't play no games like Tetris, don't party, left that like Evra. This girl said come whenever, went right back, a spill a quetta. Lying down for the politics, this talk is cheap, it's got me extra. I've never been made for labor, wanna see green, that's money, etc. I don't play no games like Tetris, don't party, left that like Evra. This girl said come whenever, went right back, a spill a quetta. Lying down for the politics, this talk is cheap, it's got me extra. I've never been made for labor, wanna see green, that's money, etc.
yeah, that was an experience just doing that. And after we got the recording down, we started off by me trying to do it all in one go, but I kind of realized that's not gonna work, especially with clarity. Like, that was gonna be a struggling point. So I decided that instead I'll just try and do it bit by bit. So I did it chorus first, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. And that ended up working a bit better. So after doing that, it was just to sit down with him and watch him as he was doing the EQing, and also pitched ideas that I wanted for the track. So like the effects that I wanted and possible other effects that we could add that would elevate the track. And also have like a brief idea of, okay, we're coming back for a final session on Saturday to do the mixing and mastering. Might as well have an idea of what you want to go into the track. So we came back in on Saturday, and this room was a lot clearer than the last room because there was a window shining, hence the lighting was a lot better. But we came back on that Saturday and we did a bit more recording to go over things like the ad-libs and anything that I wanted at the start. So before, I didn't really have an intro to the song, so I added that in. And after recording the ad-libs, we kind of just sat down and watched Sam as he was again editing the clips with the EQ in. So in this one, he added an EQ to the beat itself because the beat was a bit louder in some areas than it needed to be. So he EQ'd the beat out. And then after doing that, we kind of sat down and spoke. And I mentioned to him that I wanted to do like tape stops and things like that. But he also pitched a good idea, which was one thing that he's learned with it is a lot of times you gotta keep the beat simple, and just keeping the beat simple can be very much effective than trying all these different things. So we ended up leaving the beat as it was and just kind of like listening back to it. And I think yeah, it was a good process all in general. And we covered a lot of what goes behind making the song, but there's still other things that we didn't manage to cover. For example, that would be like the lyrics that I wrote. Obviously, that was harder to cover because I had already written the lyrics down in my own time. And, well, I could just briefly explain how the lyrics were written, which was on the bus, kind of writing that down. And over the weekend, I kind of just put pen to paper as I was recording it in my home setup, and it just matched together. And the last thing that we didn't really show in this was the mastering itself. But mastering does take like a while because you have to like get the volumes right and everything to make sure that both the track is loud and the vocals are loud so you could be heard, but also it's not too loud so it can go on streaming platforms like Spotify, iTunes, things like that. But overall, I think we did a great job on it. So that's how the whole song Politics was recorded and made. It was, I think it was a very good process in general, and I think the song came out quite well. But you could be the judge of that. If you go listen to it now on Spotify, stream it, you know what I'm saying, support a kid out. And you could also watch it on YouTube, a music video soon coming as well. Don't want to say too much on that. But yeah, that's how everything kind of came together as a whole.
I never been made for labor, want to see green, that's money, etc. I'm playing no games like Tetris, don't party, left that like Evra. Discuss said come whenever, went right back as still a quitter. I'm down for the politics, this talk is cheap, but scum me extra. I never been made for labor, want to see green, that's money, etc. I'm playing no games like Tetris, don't party, left that like Evra. Discuss said come whenever, went right back as still a quitter. I'm down for the politics, this talk is cheap, but scum me extra.